everybody. I had a request to give some tips and pointers on how to use the resolution drops and the diet that goes along with it. So I figured I would take an opportunity and make a video to help better explain some of that to you and just to give you a little pointers for those of you that are doing this along the way. I'd like to touch on first the 3 times a day dose of the drops. Like I have said before, it's 10 drops under the tongue 3 times a day. But that being said, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to take them around mealtime. A lot of people do just so that they remember their 3 doses a day. But for example, if you forget to take your bottle with you to work and you don't get to take your drops before your lunchtime, it's not the end of the world. Take it at dinner and then before bed, as long as you haven't had anything to eat or drink for 15 minutes, drop those drops under your tongue before bed. You've got your 3rd dose in and you've had your 3. So there's really not any set time frame on when you're supposed to do it. I personally, I'll take them at 7 a.m. when I wake up. I generally don't eat breakfast until about 8:30 or 9 after I have everybody out the door to school and work and things settle down a little bit. And then I'll take my 11 o'clock dose and I don't eat lunch until noon. And then I will take one with dinner, but a lot of times I forget my dinner time dose and I'll take them before bed. So it doesn't really matter a whole lot as long as you get your 3 in and you're not eating or drinking 15 minutes before or 15 minutes after you take your drops. Next, I'm going to go ahead and move to the diet. Now, there is a misconception out there that when you're taking these drops, that the cravings disappear. Yes, that's true. However, if you continue when you start them to fill your body full of the sugars and the fats and the things that you're not supposed to be eating, you're not giving your body a chance to detox those out of its system, and therefore you're not going to completely lose the cravings for these items, and your appetite won't be suppressed too much either, because those particular food items, which are restricted on the resolution diet, cause cravings and cause hunger even when your body's not hungry. So you have to be willing to put in a few days of the work yourself. As the resolutions drops build up in your system, then the cravings will start disappearing, your appetite will be suppressed, and you're not going to be tired or hungry or thinking about food all the time. But you, like I said, you have to follow the diet and be willing to stick it out. You know, for some people it happens the first day. Others, it's not till day 3 or 4 that the drops really kick in and you notice a big difference. And everybody is different, so some of the things do make you sick. For example, me, chocolate is the worst for me. If I eat chocolate, I get really, really ill. If I have fried foods, I get nauseated. If I eat stuff with flour, it doesn't affect me a whole lot. However, I will get a headache. So that being said, for some people, they may not notice much more than a headache or being tired from eating things that you're not supposed to. But if you pay attention to your body will tell you. And if you do continue, the symptoms that you're experiencing will feel a lot worse the more the stuff you're not supposed to eat builds up into your body and your bloodstream. So I'd like to go ahead and move on to the fruits and carbs and the approved food list, etc. Basically, there are 4 rules. Stay away from chocolate. Stay away from fried foods, excuse me. I don't do retakes. Stay away from flour and stay away from sugar or artificial sugars, except for the saccharin, which is sweet and low. That one is allowed. However, I personally don't recommend it because it is a chemical. Allowed sweeteners are stevia, erythritol, xylitol, and saccharin. So any of the other ones like sucralose, which is Splenda, and the high fructose corn syrup and any added sugars you want to stay away from. And that's not necessarily, if you look at the back of a label and you see the nutrition facts and it says 5 sugar grams in a can of chopped tomatoes, don't look at that because tomatoes have natural sugars. You want to actually look at the ingredients list. And if the ingredient says tomatoes and water and vitamin C, that can of tomatoes is safe, even though in the nutrition facts it says 5 grams of sugar. However, there are some cans that in the ingredients they list sugar in there. So pay attention to the ingredient list, not necessarily the nutrition facts, because there are good foods that have natural sugars in them that have to be listed as sugar grams on the nutrition facts labels. Moving on, fruits and vegetables. You want to eat those, yes, but there are a few of them that have a higher natural sugar count in them that will spike the blood sugar a little more. So they're okay to eat, but you want to do it in moderation. For example, bananas, grapes, watermelon, those three in particular really do spike the blood sugar quite a bit. And carrots and sweet peas are okay, but you also want to use those in moderation. Most of the other vegetables are just fine. Potatoes are another one you want to be very careful with those because they are very, very starchy. And I'm speaking about the white and the red potatoes. And they will spike your blood sugar as well. However, sweet potatoes, they are allowed and they're okay. Again, somewhat in moderation. You don't want to eat them every single day. And I think that pretty much covers it. Oh, no. Quinoa and brown rice are okay to have on resolution. They aren't listed in the original approved foods list, but that list is not necessarily a die-hard list to follow. Everything on that list is okay, but there's other foods that are okay too. You're safe sticking to that list, but it's okay to venture away as long as you're using common sense. The biggest thing is to count your calories. So, let me look at my list over here. And yes, I think I have covered it all. Yes, I have. One more thing I did want to say is make sure, if it's possible, make 50% of your calorie intake a day be protein. It's essential for your muscles to get that protein in order to help burn the fat. And these resolution drops, a lot of people are saying that they're afraid of regaining the weight when they get done taking them. Don't be. These resolution drops actually kick up your metabolism a notch. They reprogram your fat stores, lock them at 0 so that they don't store any. What's the matter, honey? So that they don't store fat as easily, keeping regaining to a minimum. It will reprogram your glands, and it retrains you how to eat. So even when you're not taking the resolution drops anymore and necessarily following its diet, so to speak, you're just naturally going to want to go for the better foods. And your stomach size is going to shrink being on these, so you're not going to have as large of portions as you've had before either. So I think I've said enough. I'm going on 8 minutes here, and that's quite a long video. I usually stick to 2 or 3 minutes. So anybody has any other questions, shoot them my way, and I will do my best to answer them for you. Thanks a lot. Have a good day, and happy weight loss.